Serena, what impacts do you think AI will have on entrepreneurs and businesses today?
In my honest opinion, I think AI will save them a lot of money. And the thing is, like now we're coming into a new age. Like obviously, people are complaining about a shortage of jobs, but it's like once you have AI, it helps you with like your planning, business planning. It helps you with, content, social media. You can have like an admin assistant, you can have a PA. So as an entrepreneur, like if you're not using AI, then what are you doing? Basically, it's helped me so much, like personally with my own business. I work with AI all the time. So instead of having to hire somebody, it's like it's just there. Yeah.
I think what you do with your business is really interesting.
Mm,
I've seen a few people doing what you do, but the way you've kind of branded and marketed your business is really
yeah.
interesting. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people would say, what about the human element of
Mm,
AI and what you do specifically? Because I've seen some of the
mm,
videos you've been able to create, and I'm just like,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing I always say is that AI is just a tool, and you're like, think of yourself as the creative director or somebody who is, you're the mind behind it. So AI, it has to have a human touch to actually work out. Otherwise, it's just going to sound like it doesn't know your personality unless you teach it your personality. So with me, like how I humanize it, I tell it, this is the way that I speak. This is the way that I want to do my content. This is my language. This is my tone. This is how I want to show up on social media. So you have to like train the AI to actually get to know you. So it has to have some sort of like, it has to know your human side in order to work. Otherwise, you're just going to be, that's how people fail with AI. They just say, okay, create this for me, but what and how and for who? Yeah.
How
So.
did you come up with your business idea and why did you decide to do that business?
I've always been creative personally. Like I've always been interested in graphic design, Adobe. I've created flyers for people and I'm always like, okay, how can I make my job easier as well? So on social media, you're scrolling, and I just see videos of AI talking, AI avatars, AI twins, entrepreneurs saying that they've made thousands, five figures a month just using AI. And I was like, this is very interesting. Like, if they can do it, I can do it as well. And then I just started teaching myself basically, like using my mind and the tools that I already have to be like, okay, how can I start learning this? Going on YouTube, there's reels, there's TikToks online, the information is everywhere. And I just started practicing. I started telling my partner, like, I really want to make images for people. I want to help people with branding. And he was like, yeah, do it. And then I just started posting. Honestly, I didn't wait to be perfect at it. I was like, okay, I don't mind to be seen trying. So let me just start posting. And then from there, the results came, basically.
Hmm.
Yeah. It was just, everything just happened like very surprisingly. Like I wasn't really expecting it. Yeah.
How would you say your business model actually helps entrepreneurs today? Because, like I said,
Yeah.
with the sort of human element to it, a lot of people right now are following the trend of founder-led marketing and kind
Mm,
of people being the faces of their brand.
mm,
So, with you putting AI avatars as the kind of
mm.
faces of the brand, how is that going to help entrepreneurs today?
How it helps them is that right now you have to like get ready, put on makeup, do your hair. You have to go to the studio to make videos and stuff like that. With AI, it's like you can have an image that I create for you, and then I can put you in the environment that you want with your actual voice. So now that AI is advancing, it's like you can bring a personality into it. So let's say you're at home and you just record just a normal video of you speaking. Your hair's not done, makeup's not done, the background is like looking whatever. With AI, I now put you in a scene that you want to be in, and then you're talking the same. Your hand gestures are the same. So with brands and founders and people who still want to show up but without all the effort, like it's just easy and it's just so much more like resourceful as well. You don't have to spend that much. And with me, like my face is a part of my brand, but it doesn't have to be because I have a twin now, if that makes sense. And now that it's advancing, like people don't really mind if AI is speaking, or it's just about the knowledge that you're giving, the, you know, solution that you're providing for them. So yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you received a lot of backlash about what you do?
To be honest, no, I have
Really?
not. I'm actually surprised. I think other people have, but for me, like, if it's a comment, maybe it's just one comment that's like, oh, AI is stealing jobs. But apart from that, it's not like, oh, what you're doing is unethical and stuff like that. Maybe my friends have said, well, they don't really agree with AI, but I've kind of explained it to them, like, the way the world is advancing, you're going to have to get a part of the program. For example, there was a time where the way that we got to places was with horses, and now cars came into the scene. You know, the way that we did things, we didn't have phones. Now we have phones. As evolution is taking place, there's going to be a point where you can't deny that AI exists and people are using it. If you're scared of losing your job, learn how to use technology, you know, and build your own business, build your own platform, because it's open to everyone now. Like, you can start a page, you can do what you want and make money from home. So it's like, why complain when you can see what you can get from it as well? Yeah.
I want to talk about what you said in terms of AI stealing people's jobs, especially today. I think that is very true because even in the corporate world, a lot of the employers are starting to implement the use of AI and make people redundant. What's your thoughts about what's going on right now in the corporate world?
Yeah, it's very actually sad for the people who are kind of behind, you know, maybe they don't really know like what's going on, how to build their own business, and now they're kind of being forced to, and it is sad. But I would say if you get into the mind of the founders, especially in the UK, the national insurance payments have risen up for like business owners, so they have to pay more for employees. So now when AI is coming into the scene, they're thinking about saving money, you know, and it's sad for the employees, but I would say that don't just settle in like a negative mindset that you just lost your job. Now see it as an opportunity, like, what can I do? Okay, how can I start my own business? You know, there are AI jobs that are out now. Okay, what kind of skills can I learn? What course can I take? Just see it as a way of like, it's forcing you to take an opportunity to upgrade your life, basically. And those who take it, like, you never know where you could go. So it is sad, but at the same time, like, it's also waking you up as well. Don't limit yourself to that job. You know, you're not going to be in that job forever. So, you know, find a different way, basically. Yeah.
I think there's so many elements of AI today. It's not just ChatGPT. It's not just Gemini. There's so many things that you can use. And not a lot of people want to get into tech. But I think because there's so many types of businesses you can start today, a lot of them are going to need AI at some point. So let's focus on the woman who is about to leave their 9 to 5 or wants to or has just left and wants to get into business. How can they use AI to build an MVP?
First off, you know, find out what product do you want to put out there. For example, like when I left my 9 to 5, I first had the mindset of like, okay, I want revenue, I want growth, I want this, I want that. But now, okay, AI is there for you to break things down, like step by step. You don't have to do it by yourself anymore. So I would go into ChatGTP, how do you say the word? ChatGTP.
GPT.
Or Google. You know, you replace the P with the whatever. And then Google Gemini, and I would be like, I have this business idea. My goal is to make 10K a month. Give me a step-by-step plan and ask me the right questions. What do you want to know about my business that would help me make that money in, let's say, 6 months or 8 months? And now you can have a time frame, you can have a strategy, and ask it for, you know, a launch plan.
You want more, but you have no idea on how to get there. you have the skills and you have no idea of how to package it into something that people are willing to pay for. This is exactly what I help women with in our Rise program. Rise is about helping you turn your skills and your expertise into something that is scalable in a business. We help you package everything into one so that you can start attracting your first paying clients or customers. If you want to apply, make sure that you visit our Rise page on our website and fill in the form so that we can get to talking. If you're ready to definitely scale your business this year and you're tired of waiting around, you're tired of feeling lost and stuck and not knowing what to do next, you need this. And this program definitely needs you too.
For example, so if you want to build an MVP, you don't have to think about getting it perfect. You want to put something out there and see who grabs onto it, what audience grabs onto it. So it's about testing, using AI to test your ideas. Oh, I have this idea. Okay, how can I post on social media? How many days do I need to post on social media? What do I put? With AI, I get my scripts, my captions from AI as well. Obviously, I have my, humanity, my personality within the captions. But it's like, if I need multiple, throughout the week, throughout the month, AI can just be doing it for me and it can run like that. And then you can start with, like, let's say you want to do a live workshop, or, you just want to put something out there, get a wait list, see who's interested. And then from there, create your product. That's how people do like pre-orders and things like that. They first test it out first and then they get a response from there. Yeah. So don't wait until it's perfect. Just like get your strategy, get your launch plan from AI. It will help you.
Yeah. I think because AI is very creative, it can obviously come up with tons of ideas on how to scale a business or how to create a product and test it and pilot it. But I think there's also a danger in that because of how creative it can be. It can literally tell you to, start this business. But how do you know that that's actually a scalable business? How do you know that's what consumers are looking for right now?
First, you have to research yourself. Like, don't just rely on AI to give you everything. But if you've done your own research on social media, maybe you've seen somebody else do it and they've gotten, big results or whatnot. And you've seen like the feedback people have had since they launched. You can use that for research purposes. So what I would say, look at your competitors. What are they doing? What results are they having? What kind of things are they putting out? Now, when you go into AI, you can customize it to your own self, to your own personality, what you want to put out there. And from there, like, how is from real life experiences, how people are getting results. So research is very, very important, I would say. Yeah.
When you started your business, how did you pilot it?
So with me, I just started posting prompts, like giving people free. So I would call that like a lead magnet, right? And normally, like, once you put something out for free, people just, grab it. But it just shows that there's people that are interested in this thing. So I started posting. I wasn't getting many views. And then after a while, after I kept being consistent, people started commenting, oh, is there a community? Is there a group? Is there a course? Then I started creating an ebook. So I didn't just scale to like clients immediately. I was like, okay, how can I also create just a small product to see interest? And then people started buying it. And then as you go along, they said, oh, can you create this image for me for my brand? And now I'm getting clients, and you just have to stop with the disease of perfection. I always say perfection is a disease. Like, don't be scared to be seen trying, honestly, because you don't know what kind of opportunities you're missing out on because you're waiting to be perfect, or you're waiting for everything to be clean and aesthetic. And I didn't wait. I was just like, let me put this out there and see who's going to grab onto it first. Yeah.
What would you say are the best and worst businesses to get into today?
That's a very interesting question.
And service-based or product-based? But I'll let you answer both of them separately.
Best and the worst businesses. I wouldn't say there's like a Best and worst business, because I feel like with today, people will buy anything if you have your branding and marketing correct. Like, I don't even know what would be like a worst business, because you can find success in almost anything. Like
Hospitality.
Hospitality business, to start that.
Yeah. So
I
like
don't think
restaurants.
The thing is, we still have restaurants today. Like, they're not really dying out anytime soon. So I'll say, even if you wanted to start that, I wouldn't say be discouraged because there's AI. No. I'd be like, if you really have a passion for hospitality and you know that you're going to put your all into it, and you want to, maybe start a recruitment agency and things like that, then do it, because at the end of the day, no one can really replace like real life restaurants. I mean, are we going to eat online?
Yeah.
People will still go to restaurants and things like that. So I don't think there's like I think the best businesses maybe you can start is like branding, like teaching people how to brand themselves on social media. I think that's one of the best ones, because I don't know if you know, there's a woman on social media. She's like in Dubai,
on TikTok,
on I think TikTok and Instagram. Her name's like Afnan.
I know who you're talking. Oh, Afnan Khalifa.
Yeah. And she talks branding like all the time, and she makes like millions. And all she does is just post on social media and say like, this is how you market your, not even that, but like she talks about mindset, she talks about confidence, she talks about what it is to be a woman making money, and people buy into that. So it's like, if you build yourself in a way of, I'm branding myself, people aren't investing into a product, they're investing into you. So I would say like, you're the best business to actually invest into in this day and age, not a product or a service, but you as a person. Like, you're the best business, because everybody wants to feel like they can relate to somebody, or if she can do it, I can do it too. So they will put in thousands just to get your results. Yeah.
I think with that question that I asked, I'm also looking at it as AI is a big factor right now. The businesses that can use AI are the ones that are going to go far, and maybe the ones that don't use AI are the ones that are going to kind of go down the ladder a little bit.
So even with hospitality, there's a way that they can use AI in terms of like instead of like having a receptionist, they can have like an admin assistant on the phone. People are already like incorporating AI in hospitality and restaurants. You see when you call them, and then you hear that voice that answers, and they're sounding less robotic. Like, it now sounds human. And so they're actually saving money by, instead of getting an employee, they just have like a AI like admin on the phone. And over time you will see it, expand. But for now, I don't think hospitality is like the worst business, but may not be like the best business as AI is advancing. Yeah.
So what do you think is more important? Having the skills to be able to run a business, or having more knowledge about branding and marketing? So skills like, I don't know, like being adaptable, having leadership, networking.
So if we're even talking about people who are leaving 9 to 5 and going into entrepreneurship, normally with the 9 to 5 mindset, it's like, your worth is your CV. Like, you went to uni for 3 years and you build up your leadership skills and da-da-da-da. Now, when you go into entrepreneurship, you would see that you need way more than that. So I would say in entrepreneurship, it's not just about your skills, but also about your creativity. It's also about, networking and leadership and stuff like that, but it's about stewardship as well. Like, can you steward a little before you steward more? So with 9 to 5, it's like you always have a confidence of how much you're going to get every single month. There's a security, there's a reward system, or who's the employee of the month. And with entrepreneurship, sometimes you're not rewarded. Sometimes, people don't acknowledge all the hard work you put behind the scenes. So you have to be sure in yourself. Now, entrepreneurship, there's a you have to build your identity. In 9 to 5, you can kind of hide behind your skills, behind your degree, behind your past experience and stuff like that. Entrepreneurship, you're out in the open. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror. You see now you're comparing yourself. You're not really good, really like under pressure. Mm-hmm. Now you have clients. Can you manage those clients? Can you manage the money? How does your heart change when money starts coming in? How does your heart change when you don't make money that month? So it's entrepreneurship is like way more than the skills. It's like identity you're stepping into. It's, the creativity that I spoke about, because for you to really that's why I say not everybody is built to be an entrepreneur. Like, I'm not going to tell everyone, start a business, because maybe it's not your thing. Some people are built for the 9 to 5 and stuff like that, but they have like a business mindset, but not fully, There's also a grace as well for business that you operate in. Like, you have to walk by faith at the end of the day. You don't know how much you're going to make that month, but you still have to keep pushing. So it's way more than skills, I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about the types of women that are built for entrepreneurship, because I think it's very easy to have that passion. I really want to go far in this business idea that I have, but passion, I personally think passion isn't really going to get you that far.
Yeah, of course.
I think having the skills that you can transfer from your 9 to 5 into business is very important in the beginning, but then as you go along, you have to learn. So what types of people are built for entrepreneurship? How does a 9 to 5er know that I could actually make it far in business?
The type of people that are actually built for business are like, I would call them like bulldozers, aggressive. Like, in business, you actually have to be aggressive, because there's so many things that are going to try and stop you. There's so many things that are going to try to discourage you. I don't know if there's like another word, but they're like, there's a type of confidence that you operate in. Like, I don't care what anybody says, what I see is going to come to pass. It's like a faith that nobody can take away from you. So for those type of people that have that, even if you don't have the idea yet, even if you don't have the resources, I would just say, like, put your foot out there. Find someone you can learn from. Find someone that can mentor you, because you have that mindset of like, I know I'm not supposed to be limited. I know I'm not supposed to be in just a cycle. So if you have this thing inside of you, like, no, I know I'm not supposed to be working for somebody, step out there and see what you can do. Like, and also I would say people who aren't afraid of negative feedback. So a lot of people want to start businesses, but when the negative feedback comes and the backlash, and they're like, no, I can't do this, da, 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 da. But if you're a person where like you see the negativity as, okay, this is how I can improve, also the fact it encourages you, it pushes you, okay, I just need to keep on going. Not to like prove people wrong, but to prove to yourself that you can do it, basically. So if you have that qualities, do it. Yeah.
How did you know that you were built for business?
I just knew I did not want to work for any. I feel like I've had so many jobs throughout my years, but I would leave, like, even if it's like a good job, I knew I wanted to do something myself. Like, I knew I didn't want someone telling me, this is when you can take holiday. This is when you can spend time with your family. This is when you can even go to the bathroom. No, I knew I didn't like that controlling vibes, And for me, it just felt like I was in like a prison, like, this is not my purpose. So I'm more focused on, I don't really care about the money per se, because as I go along, I know money will come. But for me, it's like, am I operating in my purpose? I think it's just also my faith as well, like what I believe in. It's like, if I'm not operating in purpose, I'm just wasting my life away. And I just couldn't fathom that. So that's why I'm like, I'm very resourceful. I do different things. I don't just do one business, but I do multiple because it's what like is inside of me, like different skills, I just have to put it out there, even if it's not perfect. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think there's a lot of women that have felt how you did feel as well. And same for me, I felt that same way. But with me, I didn't leave my job instantly. I used my job as leverage. I
Oh
used the
yeah.
money that I was getting to fund the business.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your thoughts on hustle culture, telling people quit your 9 to 5 because your 9 to 5 is stopping you from moving forward and faster in your business?
I didn't quit my 9 to 5 straight away either. I built my business and I had my salary. So I was using my salary to pay my rent. I'm not spending my business money on rent and bills. I'm using that to leverage. At the same time, you don't need to leave a 9 to 5 straight away because that job could be a form of networking as well. So you don't know who you could meet that could even help you make more money. So I would say your job can be an asset depending on the mindset that you have. Do you have a mindset of a worker or do you have a mindset of an entrepreneur even within a job? And it's possible. So the way I looked at my job was like, what opportunities can I see to progress in my own life? So I'm not just doing a work for somebody, but I'm going to my manager and saying, I really want to actually learn from you. How did you launch this business? What kind of skills did you have to have? You know, I'm like, take me with you to this event. Take me with you to this conference or whatnot. Connect me with your people so that when I leave the 9 to 5, I don't feel like, you know, I'm just by myself and I've not built anything or I don't have leverage, I don't have savings, but I feel more secure. Obviously, some people just leave because that's what they want to do, but I don't think personally it's wise to leave without, you know, having some sort of security and knowing that, okay, you're making money in your business, now you can leave. Don't just leave and you don't even know if you're going to make anything, you know, so that's what I think, yeah.
What would you say about the people who defend climbing up the corporate ladder and maybe making as much money as an early stage founder is making, and them saying, you know what, like, I get what you're saying about having the freedom in your business and working for yourself and being able to be innovative, come up with your own ideas, but I guess climbing up the corporate ladder and I can still earn the same amount of money, but I guess I have that safety net, a bigger safety net.
I would say, like, if that's what they want to do, like, yeah, definitely, like, go ahead and do that. Because, as I said before, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone. And even though they're saying that, it's like, you can't compare yourself. Just because you're making the same amount as a founder, that's okay for you. You like that same money that's coming in every month. However, for a founder, even though they could be making the same as you now, in the next month, they could be making twice as much or 4 times as much as you. So I would say, like, people who defend that, it's okay if you want to do that, but don't then put down founders because they're making the same as you, because the next month it could be completely different. And that's the thing with entrepreneurship. Your income is not static. It's not like, it doesn't have to be the same thing coming in every month. It can be so much more. Like, I have friends who, I was with my friend the other day, she just had a ping on her phone, 100K coming into her account one day. There's people making hundreds and thousands a month. So she could have been like, I want to stay in the corporate ladder and just feel secure about my income coming in every month, and then not know the opportunities that were outside available to her. Yeah.
Let's talk about the different phases of entrepreneurship, because like you said, it's not static. The amount of money you can make fluctuates all the time.
Yeah.
But there's different skills and different systems that you're going to need in order to get to and from those stages.
Yeah.
So what do you think has to change in between making maybe 10K to 50, 50 to 100 and so forth?
Yeah. First of all, delegation is very important. Like, I know when you first start a business, you want to do everything yourself to kind of keep the profits. But I would say, like, trying to keep the profits to yourself isn't going to grow your money. Delegation is, if somebody else can do social media for you, pay them and they can make you even more money. If somebody else can do graphic design for you, pay them. If somebody else, if you're working in property, for example, someone else can be sorting out the deals for you. You see yourself, more money is coming in. So I would say, don't be tempted to burn yourself out because you want to keep everything to your, and that's the mistake people make. That's why they stay on 10K and they never reach 100K, because they're trying to do everything themselves. I would also say, always be expanding your knowledge. If that means reading books, if that means being around like-minded people. For example, if right now you're making 5 figures a month, then you have a friend that's making 100K a month. Just being around that network is already exposing you to how much you can possibly make. You're having conversations with them. You're asking them questions about their systems, about, people they've met and how they make. Now you see yourself doing the same thing. So kind of connecting yourself to the right people. And why do we stay in the same place? We stay in the same environments. We don't upgrade our networks. We don't go out and explore what different things are out there. So I would say seeing things, touching things, hearing new things is actually going to help you scale and bring in more business. But I think the number one thing is delegation. Most definitely. Yeah.
What else would you say plays a part apart from delegation?
I would also say, what would I say that would also play a part? I would say investing into, obviously, knowledge. But what I mean by that is, like, let's say, for example, there's like a course out there and somebody's like making like $1 million, and actually investing into that mentorship, for example. So yeah, delegation, but also investing into mentorship so that that person can teach you as well, like how they scaled, how they got where they got. Like, it's all about knowledge and upgrading yourself, even in terms of identity wise, like mindset wise. Can you see yourself making more? Can you see yourself growing in revenue? Can you see your business scaling? If you can't see it, I always say, if you can't see it, you can't have it. Like, period. If you cannot see it, you can't have it. And also taking risk as well. So when I have friends around me and they're like in property, real estate and stuff like that, when I go to like viewings with them, they don't just say, I want 1 unit. They say, I want 10, I want 20. And in your mind, I'm thinking, are you crazy? Like, they're not thinking about the money that's coming out of their account. They're thinking about the money that's possibly gonna come in. So they don't mind taking that risk just to get a greater reward. So that's what I would say, yeah.
What are the hardest lessons that you've had to learn in entrepreneurship?
The hardest lesson, I think the number one hardest lesson is that, I think he even mentioned it. But number one, perfection is a disease. Like, if you're constantly in like perfection mode, I'm telling you, you will not go anywhere. Like, everything that people have done that succeeded, they launched it when it was not perfect. And number two, lack of delegation will lead you to burnout, period. Like, do not let yourself burn out because you have an independent spirit, you have an independent mind, you want to do everything yourself. That's one of the hardest lessons. Like, delegation is so important. Like, I have a community for like Christian women and business, like Black women. And at first I was doing it by myself. How did we scale to hundreds of people coming to our event? I had volunteers, I had a team, I had people working around me all the time. Another thing that I would say is, another hard lesson I had to learn is that guard your heart. It's so important to guard your heart, because when you're going up in life, there are going to be voices around you, so many voices around you of discouragement, of trying to compare you with somebody else or trying to make you feel bad for the success that you're, and it's possible that you can feel bad for the success that you're having, but always remember to like understand who you are, where you're going, and the fact that they're only saying that because they're not in your position. So always guard your heart, you know, guard your mind, like above all else, like, you know, be in a state of like peace around you is very important. You don't allow anybody to pressure you into something that you know is not something in your heart to do. So if somebody's telling you, oh, I think you should do this, oh, I think you should do that, you start making wrong decisions, or decisions you shouldn't have made in that timing. So always, like, before you do something, have peace about it first. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The last thing that you said was really important, because I think a lot of people, when they're in that early stage of building their business, it's so easy for them to listen to the voices around them and ask people for advice who don't have any experience of running a business whatsoever. How can they just phase out those voices? I mean, I know you said guard your heart, but practically, how can they just learn how to trust themselves when they don't even have the experience of running a business either?
I would say just keep reminding yourself of that. The fact that the people that are coming to you, they've never made, I don't know, 5 figures before, or they've never done the business before. So you can be like, at that moment, you could be like, thank you so much for your opinion, or thank you for your advice. I will, you know, think on that. I may not actually like execute it, but if I feel peace about it, I would do it, so that you don't have to come off as disrespectful or rude or whatnot. You can just be like, oh, that's a good idea. You know, I will think on it, you know, and at the same time, what they're saying could be a good idea. Just because they're not making that much money, whatnot, they could have wisdom to give you. They can have knowledge to give you, but it's also about going back and seeing if it makes sense for your business. So for me, for example, you know, I had people come to me and say, oh, do you really think AI is going to do well? Like, who's really going to be interested in that? I've done my own research. So I know, okay, this business model, even though it's new, it could blow, because this is something that people need. If you know that what you're doing, people need, and you're confident in that. And that's why it's so important to build identity, because if you don't have identity, anybody can tell you anything and you'll just go along with the wind and what they're saying. So build identity first, and then you can, you know, do what you need to do and do business. Identity is very important. Yeah.
I love that. Let's end with a fun game round.
Okay.
So this is called Opinion Court. I'm going to read out controversial statements.
Yeah.
You're going to defend or dispute them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 1, AI will replace 90% of entry-level jobs by 2030, leaving young workers without a career ladder.
Wow. So is this my opinion on
You're going to either choose to defend or dispute it.
Okay. 90% of jobs, I dispute that.
Why?
Only because there are things AI cannot replace. So it also depends on the type of entry-level jobs you're speaking about. But if you're talking about 90%, I don't think so. There's always going to be, AI cannot function without like a human mind. It needs a human mind. Like, okay, let's say warehouse or whatnot. Yeah, they can have robots and that's fine. But if we're talking about anything else, like, I don't know, what kind of entry level jobs are you speaking about?
Like the graduate jobs, finance, that's a big one. That's a big industry that has a lot of entry-level jobs. And when we're thinking about finance, a lot of the companies are now implementing the use of AI to the point where a lot of the branches are closing down. A lot of the firms don't really need people working in the office anymore. Therefore, more people are becoming redundant.
There's still like, they still have HR, or they still have there's other departments that people can look at that aren't going to be replaced by AI. But I wouldn't say there's like 90%, because at the end of the day, you still need somebody that knows how to use the AI in order to do it. For example, like the CEO, he's not going to be the one setting up the tools and setting up doing the development. There's people that are still going to be working behind the scenes, but I think the job titles will be different. For example, yeah.
I do agree with what you said about AI, a human being being the architect behind AI. However, with the way AI is now growing, I feel like it will get to a point where it will be so developed that people aren't going to be needed anymore because the AI will be able to function itself.
You think so? Like a
you see the robots,
robot.
like you see the robots. The company, the CEO of AI doesn't need to be behind the robot. The robot is doing what it's doing.
I think that's definitely a possibility. Like they are having conversations about building robots and stuff like that. What happens when the robot breaks down?
That's true.
There's a human that needs to go and fix it and stuff like that. So it is very much a possibility. But I think for now, like, really focus on how the job titles are going to change and what you can bring to the industry as it changes. Yeah.
Okay. Quitting your 9 to 5 without savings is irresponsible.
Was it dispute or
defend?
Or defend it. I defend that. Irresponsible might be a tough word to say, but it could also be a case-by-case basis. So I know people that have no savings and just started their business and it blew, whatnot. But I wouldn't say that you need to take that risk just because everybody else is doing it. If you can and if you have the opportunity to, let's say you got fired and you don't have a choice, fair enough. But if you're still in a job and you have the opportunity to stay in the job and build your savings and, you know, build security for yourself whilst doing your business, please, you know, do it. You know, there's so many videos on social media that's like, oh, if you don't quit your 9 to 5, you know, you're not going to excel in business and stuff like that. And then you don't need savings, you know. Those are just people that are talking because they need money from you. But use wisdom. Yeah, that's what I say. Use wisdom.
Okay. Not everyone is built to be an entrepreneur. I think we've already spoken about this a lot. So.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Like, I wholeheartedly actually agree with that statement because I've spoken to a lot of people who are wanting to leave the 9 to 5. They have an idea and it may be a great idea, but they don't have the capacity to actually fulfill it, to see to the end. So what I see is that people start something, they post one post on social media, you don't see another post from them in months and months and months. And it's like, where are you? Oh no, I don't want to do it anymore. You know, entrepreneurship can be boring. And you have to, like, making money it can become boring. If you want to make money, you have to brace yourself for that. It's not going to be exciting. I mean, you can try, but it's not going to be exciting and fun every day. So if you're looking for that excitement all the time, you're going to get bored and you're going to stop. So with people like that, I would say, like, entrepreneurship is going to require you to be consistent. And if you don't have that, you don't need to force yourself. Like, if it's 9 to 5 you want to do, you can stick to that. Yeah.
95% of AI entrepreneurs will fail by 2026 because they treat it as a shortcut and not an additional skill.
So when you say shortcut, like, expand on that.
So I would define shortcut as maybe instead of spending time building that human connection with your customers, with your community, you're maybe using an avatar instead of you being the person in front of the camera.
I would say it's important to have, if you're going to use AI avatars and AI twins, have a mixture of yourself on the page and the avatar. So if you're just using AI to create like a faceless brand, which we see is like successful in 1 month but may not be in the next, then I would agree with that statement. So I would say, if you're wanting to incorporate AI, really treat it as a business rather than like I just want money, because that's always going to be temporary. That's not going to be long term. So if you're thinking long term and thinking about branding, put your face out there and then incorporate the AI avatar if you want to as well. Yeah,
I agree with that. Last one, if you can't sell, you shouldn't be in business.
there's a thing, even if you can't sell now, you can learn to sell. So, for example, if somebody's leaving a 9 to 5 and they don't want to learn, okay, marketing, sales, and you will not go far in business. So learning how to sell is very important. If you don't have that skill, like, you can learn that skill, and it's so easy. There's so many courses out there, but if you're not willing to learn, you won't get far. Yeah.
How does someone learn how to sell? I know you gave the example of courses and maybe mentorship, but sales is not as easy as people make it seem.
So I would say, like, be open to rejection. So if you want to learn how to sell, you have to be a person where you cannot be affected if somebody rejects you, because in selling, you're going to have people who want to buy your product, and then you're going to have people who say no. Are you going to give up because somebody said no? Or are you going to keep on going? So I know people who do like 100 calls, 200 calls a week, and most of those calls are rejections. And then the other half, which is a smaller amount, are yeses. So are you a person that, as I said before, that's a bulldozer? Like, you're not a person that gives up easily. You see your idea and you know that it's good. You know it's for somebody. So selling is like, you don't stop until you reach your audience. So it's not just, as you said, like buying a course or whatnot, but it's the mentality and like the makeup of who you are that also goes into the selling as well. If you see people who sell products, it's like the confidence that they carry in their product convinces you to buy from them. So it's like, how can you convince that somebody? How can you persuade them? If you don't have that, you don't know how to persuade people or market to people, like, you're going to struggle. If you're a shy person, you don't really know how to speak, and you're really going to struggle. In selling. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Serena, for joining me today. I really enjoyed this because I think you gave a lot of nice tips on how to scale, especially in the early stages. Where can people find you and what's next for you?
Yeah, so I'm available on Instagram. So I have 2 Instagram pages. I have Serena Miller, and I also have Cleric Studios, which is my business page. And on TikTok, it's the same. So on TikTok, it's serenamiller._, and also my business page is Cleric Studios. So if you guys want to connect with me, or if they want to like even book me for like AI branding or anything like that, business, like, I'm also available. They can DM me on there. Yeah.
Perfect. And what is next for you?
What's next for me? I'm planning an event very soon, and it's going to be an event where I'm able to invest in, founders and people who want to start a business. So I'm willing to like give away money, for example, where they can come and pitch their business, but also the ticket that they're paying for will also include like business knowledge, how to start, how to scale, building systems, social media, tips, advice. Like, they actually get personal help from me. So I really want to do something like that to help people who don't even know where to start. So that's what's coming next. So if you guys want to stay tuned, you can go on my Instagram and then you'll find things there.
Love that. And leave us with one piece of advice for any woman who wants to scale in entrepreneurship.
One piece of advice I would say is always expand your mindset. Like, find ways to expand your identity, expand your mind, and network. Networking is very important. Do not be shy to speak to people. Do not be shy to put yourself out there as well on social media. Social media is one of like the best ways for you to get into a market like as quickly as possible. So, use social media to your advantage is what I would say. And, be a person that is consistent. Like, really build that into your personality, into yourself. I need to be disciplined. I need to be consistent. And you will get very far. Consistency is key.